Sparky Studio.
Yeah. Hello, this is Eric of Spark Studio, and today I'm reviewing the Rode NTG5 with location recording kit. And why this microphone? Because it could be very good for filmmaking, possibly even studio work. We'll test it out and more. But before we test it out, let's quickly unbox this to see what's inside. Included in our package, we have this quick start guide with QR code. We have this regulatory safety information with, again, a QR code. And we also have this blue ring, which normally fits between your adapter and your XLR should you need a spacer for whatever reason. We also have two shock mounts with screws. And that connects on top of here, where we can mount our microphone to a shock mount and a boom pole. So we see a 3/8 inch connector right here, or a 9.525 millimeter connection port. And it's also adjustable with this little adjustment knob here. And we also have our XLR connectors for here to go down, and our boom pole will have the remaining XLR to connect our microphone. Also included is this mount for our microphone, which also includes a 3/8 thread and a 5/8. So if you take out the adapter, you can put it on a boom pole. We also have this tool for mounting our shock mounts and the screws into here. So keep that tool handy. Also included is our all-important silica to keep your package dry. Firm off to prevent wind noise inside the audio. And we simply insert this into here and prevent that wind noise from happening for outside use. Now for inside use, we also have our lovely foam, though you can go bare with the microphone, but this is to prevent plosives if you're breathing into the capsule, for carrying our microphone inside, with maybe a couple of accessories, such as our foam. And here is our very humble Rode NTG microphone, and this has no extra pad switches or low cut included. But the point is the audio quality. You may wonder, what is this tag? This is a quality assurance check tag to say that this was checked at the factory. Now, the microphone you're listening to right now before we connect this is the Sennheiser MKH50. Now let's get this connected and see how this compares. You are now listening to the audio from the Rode NTG5. How am I coming through compared to the Sennheiser MKH50, which is a much more expensive microphone than this one? Now let's try some different distances to see how this sounds. Right now I am 1 foot away from the microphone. Right now I'm 2 feet away from the microphone. And right now I am 3 feet away from the microphone. And right now I am 4 feet away from the microphone. And this is how it sounds when I speak up close. But of course, if I get near the capsule, I'm going to plosive the microphone by breathing on it. Let's put some foam on this little bad boy and see if I plosive and get some puffing on that microphone. Puffing. If I do really hard pressure, it will happen when I'm up close and personal like this. But my biggest question is, am I getting that deep tone, that proximity effect? Well, let's try out some tones. Hello, I am Duke Nukem. I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick rear end, and I'm all out of gum. Boom. Mind blown. I've now switched over to the Sennheiser MKH50, which has the proximity effect, but also plosive's a lot easier. Plosive. Tone effect caused by speaking up close. Hello, I am Duke Nukem. I'm here to kick butt and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of gum. Boom. Mind blown. This is the sound of the microphone with the foam on. This is the sound of the microphone with the foam off. This is the sound of the microphone with the windshield on. How am I coming through? It is now time to do a noise rejection test to see the polar pattern of this microphone from an auditory standpoint. Now let's turn this around. Mic test 1 2 3, 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 mic test 1 2 3. And again, we are at 90 degrees and we are again at the back of the microphone. And let's go to the front. We are now at the front of the microphone. How am I coming through? But how much did this really show you? Now let's get outside and do some real world testing to show you how much it rejects background noise versus from the front. Facing up right now, and let's face towards the drain. And back to me. Now a taxi is coming. And back to me. What do we think? In terms of noise rejection, this is decent. Not like amazing, but in terms of a shotgun microphone for its size, it does a very good job. Now, if I wanted to reject more sound around me, I'd use a microphone like the DD-S Mic 2. It's a long shotgun microphone, much longer rejection tube than this. Or I might use, say, the Rode NTG3. So if I move a bit, it's not going to drop off quickly as it would for a long rejection tube, where just moving like this very slightly can make a big difference. So a shorter microphone like this allows you a little bit more freedom to move around without changing your tone a whole lot. Now, there are even larger boom mics than those. Yeah, those are absolutely huge. And those are either set in place or an A1 boom operator. Have you ever seen those actors that talk like this and they don't move their face whatsoever other than doing expressions and their mouth is always in the same place? And you hear no noise even though there are people walking around on the scene? That's probably those large boom mics where if you move slightly just like that, the volume drops tremendously. And that's what that's for. This is more forgiving. If you're finding this video informative so far, don't forget to subscribe to Spark E Studio and help this channel grow. And if you are subscribed or are subscribing right now, then yes, you are awesome. SPL test. That is sound pressure level. It is rated at 130, which does mean you can only go so loud before this microphone capsule distorts. I'm recording at 32-bit float, which is not going to clip. It's going to be the mic that distorts. So, let's do this. In case I didn't make myself clear, this is an SPL test. No! Yeah. Now let's do a self-noise test. This is to hear how much hiss the microphone has without any speech whatsoever. We're using the Zoom F3 internal recording for this test because it's more accurate than my camera DAX can possibly do, or the Tascam on my camera. So now let's listen to the silence. Okay, that was a self-noise from the Sennheiser MKH50 in comparison to a microphone that is like at least half the cost, even with the kit. So the kit, of course, includes that fur muff, which adds to the price. It's been 3 days since I started this review. I couldn't get any wind noise, so it's time to make my own wind. But of course, we're going to hear some noise from the motor, but we're going to listen for that wind blowing on the fur muff and the foam and the bare capsule. Let's start with the bare microphone, which is going to really not sound good, but why not? I'm sorry about how annoying that was. Now you might wonder, how about the Sennheiser MKH50, which I previously reviewed? Well, when it comes down to it, has a really nice tone, and that nice deep tone that a lot of people like. I have 3 different compliments on that particular microphone. The audio you're hearing right now is from the Sennheiser MKE600. Even with the location kit, which includes the furry muff, which this doesn't include, which includes a thing for the boom pole, which I'm using a different one right now, which this includes this shock mount, so fair enough. But it doesn't have a boom pole thing, special thing for running your cables. And this has a metal insert, this has a plastic insert. So this is still less than half the price, despite including all those extras, than this. Impressive value. I'd recommend it. Until next time, we're going to be testing a boom pole. We're going to be testing a wireless microphone with internal recording coming up soon. And the boom pole will be tested with this microphone and, of course, this one as well. And what does a boom pole do? It does with your actors, normally for your voice recording. And we're going to compare that against the Hollyland Lark Max to see, should I just use the wireless mic system? Or should I boom pole a mic like this? Well, we'll find out next time. Thanks for watching, and have yourselves a most wonderful day.